everybody. Hello. Look, I found a Danny Shay.
I was just walking down the street and you just grabbed me, threw me into your room. I'm like, yikes.
I threw him in the room, hooked him in, brought him in, and he's like, so why'd you pick me?
Hang on. I got to turn off my... Oh, come on now.
But everybody, you know me. I'm Mary. I'm the founder and the teacher here at Earth and Star Spiritual Wellness Center. I am a healer and an angel medium. And today we have the lucky, the lovely, the shiny, the wonderful, soft yet prickly Danny Shay. And there's a story for that. I asked how he was feeling before the show, and he was like, a little prickly.
Yeah. But you got all the other good stuff in there, so that's good. That works out.
The lovely, the wonderful, the soft, all of that stuff too.
Yeah.
Well, Danny, so this is your first time on our show with us.
Yes.
So is there anything in particular you want people to know about you or what you offer?
No.
Nothing. Hey, Laura, how are you? Hi, Deb.
So anyway, I am super excited to be here. Thank you for inviting me first off. What was the question?
So Danny does, you do tarot readings, right?
Oh yeah. Okay. So yeah, now I know where we're going. So what do I offer? So I do tarot readings. I started off doing political readings on YouTube. Just because that happened with COVID. And so I was just starting, I guess, my professional psychic career. Is that a thing, a psychic career? I think it is.
Yes.
I think it is. So I was just starting that. COVID came and shut it down. And I went, oh my gosh. So I stopped all my free readings and I was doing this professionally and it got shut down. And I go, well, I need to practice still. And I didn't want to go backwards into the old platforms because I evolved from them. Mm-hmm. And so I go, well, I think I'm just going to practice and throw up a YouTube video on some of the knuckleheaded politics. And so that's where that started. And then from there, things just started evolving and growing and branching out. This is an amazing resource to get a lot of new information, new awarenesses, new methods, and so there it is.
I love that. I absolutely love that, how it evolved for you and came together. Very similarly, a lot of people ended up doing readings and their journey evolved. And interestingly, I was telling Danny, so I'll tell you guys, when Danny first decided he was going to do this show with me, he actually hadn't quite decided yet. I don't think. I just emailed him. And
no, I did.
And I was outside grounding and I was like, what will our theme be? What kind of energy? Because you guys know, you're not just sitting here being talked at or even just getting readings. You're getting energetic transmissions from our intention and what healing vibes we have for you. So I wanted to set an intention for the show. And I just saw this big ball of bright yellow light and joy, new beginnings. The fool's journey came up for me. And interestingly, Danny's email happens to be Shay's Fool's Tarot, which he says has nothing to do with the fool's journey, but he can get into that or not get into that if he wants to. So today, our intention is to really bring joy, sunshine, and yellow, even though it's past Labor Day. My husband had a word with me about that. I was like, well, it's not Indigenous Peoples Day yet. So I feel like that really marks fall. You know,
there we go. Yeah.
but I wanted the yellow. I wanted the joy, new beginnings. And, I'm kind of in a transition phase um, with my business as well, but nobody knows about that yet. And I'm not telling because I'm really good at keeping secrets.
Well, since I'm a psychic, I'm going to read on that, and I'm gonna spill the beans. Who, the thing for me is who's not in a transition period right now.
Mm-hmm.
It feels like everybody is, and I mean, whether I just feel like there's something huge coming down the road, and it's some of us are jumping on, and it really feels like the fool's journey, because people are jumping off this cliff going, I'm loving it. I'm loving the free fall of it. I know I'm going to be okay because the dog gave me a parachute, and that's the card. The card has a dog.
Okay.
And the dog barks and says, watch out for that cliff. Well, in this case, you just jump off knowing you're okay, and the dog is gonna save you anyway. So there's a lot of that going on. And I liked what you said about the energetic feeling with this, the energetic upgrade in the readings of what we're doing. It's all a collaboration, and it's just not you and me, but it's everybody in the chat that is adding to the energy, the vibration. And so thank you all for giving me, all you people in the chat, and Mary, an upgrade. Thank you.
You upgrading us. Hey, Millicent. Hey, Dr. Gail. Hey, Deb. I love you all. They're doing wonderful out there. Well, I have a question then. So, first, while you were talking about everyone being in a transition phase, I ended up with this gatekeeper card, which kept coming out a lot during my last live. And I feel like this is teaching us about switching timelines, ascension, things like that. And the second thing is, I thought maybe you could explain a little bit more about the Fool's Journey. I have my tarot deck with me, but even my tarot deck is kind of modified. So instead of the suits, it has elementals, earth, air, fire, water, because I'm really not good at tarot. I'm amazing at Oracle. Tarot is something you have to learn. In my opinion, you have to learn what these numbers mean. So, but the Fool's Journey, I think we kind of know, new beginnings. What's your take on it, since you're the professional?
Well, first, you mentioned something that you're an angel, what?
Medium, yes.
Angel medium. So let me pull an angel card.
Okay.
This is the Divine Feminine Angel Oracle card. And this is all about our transitions. And this is Archeia Strength. Unleash your magic.
Ooh.
Powerful in this transition. We all have a role to play in this. And some of it is clear, some of it is unclear. But I think this Fool's Journey, getting back to your question with the Fool's Journey, so the tarot is the Fool's Journey, and it runs in. I wish I remembered all that I forgot with tarot, and some of these people are just phenomenal teachers with this. But for me, it's all about running through the deck of the tarot, all on the exploration of the Fool. And the Fool is numbered 0, so it's the beginning. It's pre-1, which I really, really like, because it's also a completion card. So you think you're starting on a new journey, but you're completing. It's so we go into timelines with this. And for me, that when you were mentioning the timelines, it's it's all the same. I mean, it's a circle. So it depends on where we put our focus on the circle time. It's not linear, circular, or spherical. So it's just where we put our attention and where we put our focus on. And I think we can get we can put our attention on fear and doubt and lower vibrational places, and that's what we'll attract. Or we can put our attention on unleashing our magic and strength, and that's what we're going to see more of.
I love that. I
Did
like
that explain it?
I like the thought that like all of the tarot is just the fool learning different things and going through life until we're back on a deeper level or an ascending level.
Yeah. And then he comes right back to being the fool again and starting all over.
But why is he called the fool?
I don't know.
Because when you think of a fool, you're like, oh, that's an idiot, you know. But I think it's supposed to like represent innocence and
It does. Yeah, it just, but I don't know why they call it a fool. Now I'm gonna have to go back and study and look at my books. Because the way that I read tarot, so I did study all of this stuff. I mean, I studied all the major, the minor arcanas, the numerology of it, and I forgot a lot of it. So I use, you can read book level and you can read intuitively.
right.
And so I choose to read more intuitively, which is more like oracle cards and what the images. So I have lots of different decks of tarot cards. Each deck has a different flavor to it. If I use the Rider Waite deck, that's pretty hardcore. It's more rigid for me. If I use a Light Seer's tarot or a Deviant Moon tarot, that gets really dark. But it's kind of funny, but it makes you look at something in a really different way. And then I have one deck that is so, it's called True Black. And it's just symbols, and it takes you in this whole new direction that I wouldn't expect. So getting back to why they call it the Fool's card, I think it's well, for me, my interpretation is if I think I know something and I'm so solid in my knowledge of it, then I'm probably being a little foolish. I need to be open to experience a lot of different things. And there is no dominant way of being or looking at something. That's just being foolish. There's everything. You have to look at everything, the pluses, the minuses, the good, the bad, and that's helping us grow.
I really like that because even as we go through spirituality and different spiritual practices, anything that you hold to becomes a belief that limits you and stops your journey. So being able to release everything you think you know, that you think you are, and keep yourself very open and flowing. I love that. I want to backpedal. What was this moon deck you were talking about?
Oh, my Deviant Moon deck. Hang on one second. Hang on.
What is a deviant moon? Guys, we're going to read you guys on a deviant moon deck.
No, I don't know. This is for deviant.
It's Halloween. It's spooky month. Let's do it.
This is the Deviant Moon.
Is this like
It's
shadow work, like emotions?
um
He's like,
you
no,
know, I
rebel.
don't I'm not quite sure what it is. Um it's so weird. I mean, here's the Wheel of Fortune. It's just it's you look at it things and it's just like I'm trying to find the Fool if I can find it real quick. But yeah, it's the Death card. It doesn't even say death on it, but it's I don't know what this is, except it's a little scary.
So it's actually just a tarot deck, but it's like more the arts. The art is
Yeah,
deviant,
yeah.
deviant art.
Deviant arts. And there's well, no Fool. No Fool. I can't find it. Oh, it was the very first card. It was the very card on the very top of it. Here's the Fool. I
Hmm.
don't know if you can see it, but it's a court jester playing, dancing, singing. Um, there's fish with big teeth playing at his feet. And so it's like it's not a dog, it's big scary fish with long teeth that are warning him.
I like the fish there. For me, that feels very indicative of Celtic and pagan
Mm?
Fool's Journey, because they talk a lot about the salmon and the wisdom of the salmon and the stories that they have about like their beginning or creation stories, how we all came to be, and those sorts of things have a lot to do with seeds and salmon and stuff like that. So how he was eaten by a fish and born, and so I like the fish thing. That's
Yeah,
very
yeah.
cool thing to have. Well, how old were you when because you said you didn't start political, you started just by doing readings and stuff. How did
Yeah.
you were a psychic?
Um, and that was a term that was kind of hard for me to jump into, and it still is a little bit. The I've always known that there was something going on from the little itty bitty baby kid, little guy, and it got shut down because people would say you can't do that, you can't think that way, you can't talk to people who aren't there, you're crazy. And but luckily, my mom was not one of those people. And my dad, he didn't really talk to me. It was more of the educators that were saying, don't do that. You're not allowed. That's for religious people to be where what you're talking about. And so that got shut down probably until I would say in my early 30s. I moved to Los Angeles, and this woman comes into my apartment with a deck of tarot cards. And I went, ooh, what's that? And so from there, I started doing tarot again. My first re-hit was psychometry. I took this class and we were playing around and I grabbed a photo and I didn't look at it. And I told this woman all about this photo and her relationship with her then ex-boyfriend. And she's like, oh my God. And I'm like, oh my God.
What are we doing?
Yeah. So, and then it morphed into studying and just digging into this and honing what I knew I had, and I'm still doing it. I think I'll be honing that until my end of days on this rock. And there was other things along the way that kind of pushed me, to get more in tune with, the inner voice that we don't need to go into. But, it's traumatic stuff. And I think about this. I go, well, can't it be easy? Does it always have to be loss, traumatic? Can't it be like joyful? Which, yeah, it can if we open up to it.
Mm-hmm. It's almost our resistance to it that causes the suffering.
Yeah. And causes us to open it up into, well, how do we deal with all that? And then we hear voices on how to deal with it. And it opens up our psychic attunement. I don't want to have to do a near-death experience to, I'd just rather not. Although, I mean, I'd rather do it in a journey, in a meditation, do that near-death thing, I think.
Yeah. I can help you with that. I do death simulations.
You do what?
I do death. They're called death simulations. Yes.
I was kidding. I was kidding.
No, you weren't. Your guidance was speaking through you. Danny's getting a death simulation.
Oh my gosh. I got to tell you, this is the most foolish thing I've ever done, is to come on your show. Because now I'm going to be doing a death simulation. All right, sign me up. Sign me up.
It's not as bad as it sounds. It's death.
Oh, no, just a death simulation. What's going to happen? Well, we're just going to simulate cutting your head off. Is there blood? Simulated blood.
No. Well, I prefer like you choosing to leave your body, but if you choose a violent death during your simulation, that's all you, Danny Shay. You could be wearing whatever. You could be dressed as Batman. You can do whatever you want. I don't know why that image came to my brain. You must like Batman.
Batman, yes.
All right, so we're figuring this out. We're figuring out your
yeah. All right. So I am looking forward to this death simulation.
Dressed as Batman, where you are beheaded.
Now we're gonna skip the beheading thing. We're not going there. But dressing up as Batman, yeah, well, we may do that.
Look, Lisa on here says you don't get what you want, you get what you need. So you need to be.
Yeah. You're right.
She sang it too. She even put little notes for you.
She's singing it. Oh.
Yeah. She
Okay.
sang it for you.
I know.
Anyway, so I think that was a very important story to hear. Thank you so much for sharing. And I think that I had something very similar. During childhood, you are talking to things and having dreams and seeing things that people tell you either aren't there, that you're not supposed to talk to, so you shut it down. In my teens was my first introduction, I think, to tarot, though, because where I grew up, there wasn't a lot of tarot. It's something you only saw in movies. So as a teenager, I would sit by myself in my room and I would play solitaire with a regular deck of cards. Yeah. And I remember one time in particular, my brother came into the room and we were just hanging out. We were probably high, whatever. And I'm doing the solitaire and I was like, I'm going to read for you, and I pulled these solitaire cards and I did this whole reading for him. And then the suits ended up, whichever suit came out first was like the most important thing. And, yeah. We went on like that until I ended up doing like a whole love reading. I mean, looking back logically, I probably only told him that he really wants a girlfriend and she doesn't like him back. And he was like, oh my God, that's right. It was like that logically. But at the time, it was like really profound. And I was like, I can do this. We can be intuitive readers. And then you just start going from there. So I have an important question, though, before we move on, because we are going to be doing some readings for you lovely people. I do have a question. And think about this, okay? What is your current mission? Why do you do what you do?
Mm, that's so easy. What an easy question. What? And let me pull some cards on it so I can get clear. Uh, there, and th- that statement that I just said, I was thinking, I heard that when you were talking about, tarot and just pulling a deck of cards out. There's so many things that give us a little bit of clarity. They're just all tools that give us clarity so that we can access our intuition and access our knowing. And I'm so getting back to my mission at this point, at this awareness of where I am on the matrix, the holograph, the web of life, whatever that is, because it's all a vibration. I think that all the well, right now I think this. Tomorrow, who knows? But it really feels like the, the there is numerous lives that we have had in the past, have had in the future, and we're living those all at once, and we get to create our reality. So my mission is to focus more on the reality that I want to create versus the one that it's not that I've created, but that I see around me that I'm not really happy with.
Mhm.
So, and I go, well, I must have created part of that.
Yeah.
So, my mission right now is to create a better world that I'm living in.
To
I mean, I
create
think the world's pretty cool right now. I really like it. But then when I start looking at all the news feeds, I'm not like so happy with, I'm a hippie at heart, so I don't like wars. I don't like bombs. I think we should have food versus bombs. If we would not spend the money on the war machine, think of what we could accomplish. Right? So, and it's hard to let go of that because it's been so ingrained in my growing up that's we have to live in reality, and I'm not quite so sure we do all the time.
well,
Or any
you're doing shamanic work when you do that. You
Yeah,
are dreaming a new world into being, and it sounds like you're trying to
yeah,
create a destiny of world peace.
yeah, yeah. I mean, absolutely. Absolutely. Which is why I love going up to Mount Shasta so much, which is why I like tapping into the the Lemurian energy of Shasta. So it's all about peace. It's all about learning, healing, love. So yeah, that is super powerful, and I am extremely attracted to shamanic journeying and the shamanic practices. I haven't been trained, I guess, but I've had many past lives as. And so I tap into that, and I hear my brain going, you don't have the education, but I have a past life experience that I could just focus on it. And when you kill me in this little exercise that we're going to do, go have my death experience.
We'll go back in time and grab a hold of all of the gifts from your past shamanic lives and bring them into
Bring
today's
them
time.
in. Bring them in.
So, I
Yeah.
mean, and even though you might not have like the training in this life, like you were saying, you have all of the intuitive wisdom and energetic energy coming forward so that you're still doing that kind of work through your
Yeah.
energy, is
Right.
basically what we were saying. Do you still do Sunday with Spirit on your
I
channel?
do. I do. Scary. I have not missed a Sunday show since I started this YouTube thing. Don't ask me why I started that. I have no idea. That isn't really who I imagined me to. Oh, I'm gonna do a spiritual pull every Sunday. I never ever would imagine me saying that's what I would be doing 7 years ago.
Mhm.
It's weird.
But you do a
But
lot of political stuff along the lines of, I would imagine, trying to create the peace along with
yeah,
your intention. So
yeah. Well,
having a day
so
of spirituality is good.
what's that?
So having a day of spirituality is good.
Yeah. And I like to throw energy card, spiritual card in the very beginning because people are going to watch the fear-based stuff. It's like I'm getting things from AI, uh, the YouTube creators. Let us tweak your title so that you get more viewers, and it's really negative. And I go, oh. So if I put up a political read, I always like to do a little spiritual something in front, the energy, and then if they don't want to listen to me talk about Trump, then they can leave. But some people will stay. So
I
yeah,
like that a lot. Adding in the spiritual aspect. Yeah, there's a lot of fear mongering that can happen, and it really tends to draw people in. But what that energy, if people don't realize what that's doing, is that collectively it's feeding on your fear
yeah,
and creating this fear monster of energy in the collective. It's crazy. It's crazy.
yeah.
So on that note,
That note.
let's do a reading.
Okay. What card should I get? I'm I'm
Who
putting these I'm putting these away. I'm
well,
putting the deviant.
what's the darkness deck? I want to read. I want a dark reading.
You want to do okay. So here we go. Here we go. Oh, you are not gonna like this.
Yes, so
Dark,
shadow work for sure.
dark mirror.
It's gonna just spank me. You know what? Who wants the reading? If you guys want a reading, type in your questions into the chat. Hey Lisa, hey Liz, hey Carl, hey Gina, hey everybody.
Hello, hello, hello.
Type your
So
question.
am I reading on you? Dark mirror?
Yes.
Ooh.
Read me first, and then we'll get into everyone else, because this is, you threatened me
All
earlier.
right.
You threatened to tell my dark secret. Let's
No,
see. Just
I'm not sharing any of your secrets.
I like
Okay,
it.
so here's what I got. Oh, dang. Oh, really? Oh,
All right, shut it down.
okay. No, that's no good. That's no good.
What was it?
Wow.
Let me see.
Wow.
What was
So I
it?
pulled three cards from the Dark Mirror Oracle. And I got envious gluttony.
Okay. So these are
I
like deep.
got I got addicted,
Okay.
and I got the masquerade.
Okay.
So what? I mean, you can take this and you can go, oh yeah. That is something that I really need to dig into too much. But let me pull, because what I'm getting initially is this is something you've already released. And this is about your new journey that is that you're building with the Seven of Pentacles. A little confusion on your new journey that is where you're growing with this. So here I got it. So it feels like with the dark mirror cards that you have, and it goes hand in hand with the Fool's Journey, that you have a way that you think this should go, and you're addicted to the way that this should go, and I think you need to let that go and be caught in that unknown place a little bit, because it's going to work out. It's going to work out really, really well. But it's not where you think it's going.
I'm going to tell you something, Mr. Shay. All right. I've had some of my most trusted friend psychics tell me that same exact message for 2 years now. And they all say, it's not what you think it is. They don't tell me what it is, but they say, it's not what you think it is. They all have the same message. But for you guys, I'm going through a transition phase with the business, but I'm not telling you guys yet. You guys will know when I get all of the details, because it's not what I think it is, apparently.
and I hear you going, I hear insights going, but I've done all the work.
All the stinking work. But I will tell you what those dark cards reminded me of. What was the third one again?
Masquerade.
What that reminded me of was last week when we were going through these lunar eclipses and all this kind of stuff. And, this reading stuff is my Monday through Friday, 9 to 5 job. I'm doing this with people all day, every day. And I try to give myself 15 minutes between each client to go outside, to ground. And last week I went into a tailspin and actually had a panic attack, because I had come so ungrounded from working the addiction, working without the play, that what was the third one again? It keeps going out of my brain.
Masquerade.
That I did not feel like I was a person. I was like, I don't want this body. I don't know what these clothes are. I don't know what this hair is. I don't know. This is not me. It felt like I was wearing a mask, trying to be a person, and just like parading around on earth like,
yeah.
But my husband took me on vacation this weekend. We were gone a couple of days, and so we're great. We're back.
Yay. And the first card too gives me a lot of insight with the envious gluttony. We really need to take a break with this stuff. For me, I love these cards. When I first got them, I go, oh, hell no, I'm not allowing that dark energy in, because I think spiritually we have to be really aware of what we're allowing in and what we're hanging on to. So this envious gluttony, it's like, oh, I want to get a lot of business. I want to read a lot of people. And, so bring it on. And other people may look at you and go, oh man, look how much business she has. Look at that. But there's a shadow side to it that you have to be really, really careful. You have to go out and ground. You have to take care of yourself.
Mm-hmm. Yep. We have to take care of our bodies. I mean, I have a bodywork specialist who tells me all the time, you don't play enough. What do you do to play? And I'm like, I work, because I really like it. I'm a Capricorn moon. I love to work. I love to do what I'm doing. This is just what I do. I like to work. I've got to shut up or we're not going to get any readings done. Thank you, Danny. Thank you for showing my deepest, darkest glutton spirit to the whole world.
You're welcome. We all have that, don't we?
Who's next to see this dark reading? Who's next?
No, they don't get dark mirror readings. Only you do.
Hey, them doing their shadow work is the most important part of their healing. They have to recognize what's going on in their subconscious. Okay,
Okay.
Carl wants to hear from his guides to illuminate his actions for the week.
May I hear from my guides to illuminate my actions for the week? May I hear from my guides? Carl.
I'm getting kind of a rev up kind of message. I don't know if that makes sense, but like the two cards I pulled, I have the Eight of Fire and the Hermit, and I'm hearing the word transformation. Now, the Fire card is an action card, and then obviously the Hermit is a non-action card. So it feels to me with that word transformation that maybe this week you reserve your energy stores because you only have so much and let it build, 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 build for the thing that you're supposed to be doing. I kind of see this a good bit with Kundalini type energies, and when you're trying to create something rather than just expending large amounts of energy, just kind of keeping it to yourself, limiting who has access to your energy so that you're better able to create what you are trying to create or what you have in mind to create. What'd you get, Mr. Danny?
Yeah, what you said.
Really?
So I pulled an angel card and then 3 tarot. This is Archaea Clarity, Rest, Reflect, Recharge. Nice. So, and then the cards that I got, the Fool card, you're going on a new journey, as we all are. So buckle up. The Queen of Pentacles. This is something. This is really good. As far as, I mean, she knows how to make money. She knows how to spend money. She knows how to manage projects. So Pentacles are Earth. They're also projects, seeds growing. She knows how to manage all of that. But the rest and reflect comes into play with the 7 of Cups. Pick the right choice. You may want to pick too many. You may want to not. Maybe you're just going to grab something and not think about it. So choose wisely in what you want to do.
I love that. Thank you. It was like the same message through a completely
Same
different
message.
Yeah. Thanks, Carl, for letting us read you. Who's next? What do I need to know that I don't know I need to know? That's a really good question, Lisa.
What do I need? Okay. Dang it. All right. Lisa B.
For the dark cards.
I am. I'm going with the Dark Mirror deck for her. When I said, no, I'm not using the Deviant Moon. So, but the Dark Mirror cards for me they're so powerful and enlightening. They're not dark at all. They're just like, oh yeah.
She said she's scared.
Be scared. Be very afraid.
I'm actually really curious what Danny comes up with, because I pulled the full spectrum card, and this card is talking, because he chose the dark deck or the shadow work deck, but this particular card is talking about making heaven on earth. It's talking about basically using, like we were talking about earlier, accepting life cycles, being very open, not railing and pushing against things that are happening, allowing yourself to just relax, to go with the flow, to expect good things, to know you're always going to end up in that good place where you're exactly meant to be, going beyond duality, but not fighting the dark, just letting everything flow through. And that will create heaven on earth. You're trying to create a peaceful, heavenly space of oneness and wholeness in your home and in your life. So I'm curious what you came up with from your deck.
These are, I mean, this is great. I love doing this because they're so matched together. You wouldn't think that there would be an angel card in the dark mirror card. However, there is. But because it's dark mirror, you got the colorless angel. And I'm like, okay, I need a little more clarity on this colorless angel. It feels, so similar to what Mary was saying. The clarity cards I got is the child I was meant to be, and is this me? So number one, yes, it's you. You are the child that you are meant to be, but you're kind of blocking yourself off. You're not letting your true colors shine. However, when I tap into Lisa B, that her name, her energy, she knows who she is. She knows, and I'm not seeing her so much as a colorless, but there's a lot more color that she can bring to this angelic being that she is.
She has a powerful energy to come through. And one thing that really stood out to me as I was handing it to you, the information was still downloading. I heard ancestry, and then I heard mind. So it's almost like just as I was handing it off, I got the download that there's something about ancestry or lineage or childhood that's really been blocking a mindset of power and energy and color. So letting that go. And then you immediately went in about the child and who am I and all of that. So that was just perfect. Loved it.
Yeah. And going back to what we were originally talking about, where the child in me was like, I am super tapped in, super powerful in my awareness of all that is. No, you can't be that. You can't do that. Shut it down. So we are all that child. Powerful. Thank you, Lisa. Thank you.
Lisa, for letting us read you. Who's next? Creative organization.
Okay. All right. Creative organization. This Reeves. Creative organization. This Reeves. Creative organization. Creative organization.
Okay, so what I'm getting between these three cards here, and I'm reading it intuitively because I'm feeling an energy flow here rather than but the Page of Earth, Temptation, and the Page of Air. So we have two pages here coming out. But what I'm sensing with this creative process is that you have an idea. There's like a seed of something there that we're wanting to grow, but you're being reminded to hold to your spiritual or energetic intention, your inspiration. I always sense this in the back of the body, more towards the spine, because if you are tempted by the logic, if you're tempted by the money, if you're tempted by any of those physical things, that's pulling your energy this way, and you're not going to reach here the way you would if you just held to your intention of why you got that creative seed to begin with. So follow your intuition, follow your inspiration and your spiritual intention all the way up. And here you can see what's happening with this air is that she becomes free and open and expansive. So air, of course, is thought and ideas. So just really following your intuition, your inspiration and letting that grow very freely and expansively. On to you.
Money, money,
Meh.
money. Liz, money, money, money. So when I got this last card, I was going, really? Really? What's going on with this? And then you mentioned it, if if you're focused on the money aspect, which makes a lot of sense. I got the Queen of Swords, Queen of Air. Okay. She's holding both of those. When you said you got to grab on and hold on to your beliefs, yeah. Your creative organization, I don't know, how do you see yourself? Do you see yourself as somebody that's not quite a star? Well, you should change that because you got the star card. It's beautiful. So know who you are. Know that this is like an amazing process for you. But then the last card I got is the Five of Pentacles. And I went, oh, loss of money. And it's when you said, don't focus on the money, that it's not about the money. It's about, and I'm also getting with this card, it's also about breaking some rules too. But I mean, you got the Queen of Swords, you got the Star card, and I think you're going to break some rules. Don't focus on the money if that is in your awareness.
I really liked your layup there. Do you think you're someone who's not a star? Think again.
We all have that imposter syndrome. Should I really be doing this? Yes, you should.
Oh my goodness. Who's next?
Thank you, Liz. Thank you.
Deb, see how your surgery is going to go for placement to filter blood clots, or a general health question. Okay. Well, your guides are very insistent. They just went into the room. They're like, you don't need cards, but pull one from each deck.
You don't need cards, but pull one from each deck. Yeah, that works.
So you have some very watchful angels, first off, because like I said, at least 3 came into the room once I went to do what I'm doing here. Okay. So the high heart chakra card is the very first one that came out. We're talking about to filter blood clots. So I feel like, generally speaking, this is like here. So this is usually more about an energy, but I keep getting the sense that this is actually about your physical heart and health. So this is where we're starting. And then I am getting, so that's the high heart card, the 7 of water here, and then the Empress. And with what this means to me is that this is less about your physical health, because your physical health will be taken care of. You have doctors, you have your karmic path, you have healers that you can work with. Your problem that's probably causing a lot of your physical health is your emotional space. We have to heal our emotions, our traumas, our wounds, any of those things, anything that's keeping you in stress, in worry, in fear. These are the things that are really putting pressure on your body, raising your blood pressure, causing clots, something about arthritis, things like that are all coming up around old resentments, things like that we need to release. And what does the Empress mean? Because I just get the overall sense that through the 3 of these cards together, that this means health will be taken care of, how it's going to be in this life. Your emotions are your main thing to heal, and that will help the health, and that this just means good results. But I don't necessarily know exactly what it means, besides you're a queen and you're a goddess and you're lovely and you're wonderful and everything's going to be great.
So I got some similar things. I got going back to a simpler time with the 6 of Cups. I got a new beginning a new way of looking at things, letting go of some things that you're currently hanging on to right now. And I got a partnership with the Two of Cups, trying to get some. And so that was a tarot. And I said, let me pull some Lemurian cards, because the Lemurian deck is really a healing energy. The cards that I got was vulnerability, starting on a new journey with the Earth Star Chakra, and also hang on to your furried and feathered friends. There's a there's a teamwork that is going to be that you're going to be working with your doctors. They're going to come up with something new. They're going to come up and help get you back to a simpler time. But it feels like that you're going to need to rely on your pets. I don't know if you have pets, for more healing energy through their energy. Does that make sense?
It does. Animals are very healing, and pets, and Viviani, she does the pet readings. We're going to be doing that Friday. I think we are.
Mm.
But the pets, they choose us. It's like their destiny is,
Yeah.
connected with ours. So we kind of take on each other's energy and help with things. She has a parakeet and chickens.
Oh, okay. Well, it says
Friend.
furred and feathered friends. So just space them. Oh, chickens. Oh, yeah. Yeah. There's some healing there. So, I mean, I see good things. It's, it's a transition that you're going to be going through, but just hang in there.
Yeah, I loved my chickens. They were really good friends of mine, but she says that she feels a little out of control with all of this because it's new, which might be why that card was pulled, saying it's really your emotions you have to get a hold of and level out and heal through. And Danny
Yeah.
pulled cards of being supported and letting the animals help transmute that energy. But we both got very, very positive end messages of this.
Yep.
It's gonna be okay. It's all gonna work out. You're good.
Yeah. Yeah.
Thanks, Deb. Thanks for letting us read you.
Thank you. Yes.
For maybe one more. Baby Angel wants to know more about their spirit guide or team and what cards most closely represent them, and what areas of my life do they guide me in recently.
All right. New deck. Another new deck. Baby Angel. Baby Angel. There's no more box.
What deck are you pulling now?
I am using my Baby Angel and Ancestor deck.
Of course you are. I'm being guided to get another deck too, actually.
I want to know more about my spirit guide or team. What cards mostly represent them in what areas of my life? Baby Angel. So I'm using my Angels and Ancestors deck. This one here, Kyle Gray. All right, so Baby Angel, Spirit Team. Spirit Team. Mary, how many guides are currently in your working team right now?
Oh,
Yeah, number. Yeah, I want a number.
you need a number? Hold on. Okay.
Baby Angel.
13, maybe,
Oh,
that I like
wow.
work with regularly.
Yeah. Yeah. Cool.
That may or may not be comprehensive. That was a quick
It
count.
was. Yes. Hmm.
So here's what's coming to me, and it's very interesting because there's a lot of, I don't want to say muddled energy, but it feels like there is something you're trying to come out of. So the first card I pulled is the 10 of air. And with air, once again, this is usually thought processes and things like that. But this card in particular talks about graceful endings, new beginnings. So maybe a bit like a Fool card. But then I was guided to pull my shamanic deck by Alberto Vialdo, the mystical shaman oracle. And we
Hmm.
got Taming the Wind. And when we get Taming the Wind, this is kind of about using energy wisely, but in a way that's not struggling. This kind of shows me, this card here, especially with what I'm feeling, this kind of shows me where maybe there's people we need to forgive, amends that need to happen, energy that needs to be cleared. Like there's old stuff still hanging out. And it's time for us to really clear out that energy and start a new beginning. If you think about taming the wind, how do you do that? You can't do that. The wind is a wild thing. So this is really just about not struggling, not using so much resistance in life. We don't have to have resistance. We can just clear out that energy and let everything flow appropriately. So there might just be some amends to be made, some clearing to happen. What do you think, Mr. Shay?
Well, I liked when you said to be a little graceful, right? So the last card that I pulled was the Shaolin Master. Be graceful in movement and action.
Mm.
So that's that. I really like that. The first card that I got though was Mountain. Stand your ground. So they didn't air. And I'm like, how does a mountain be graceful in movement and action? Because it just is. It's there. And there's a reflection in this too. So with this message where they're going, I got three other guardians. I got the air guardian, which is talking about wind, the heart guardian, and magic guardian. So you definitely have a spirit team around you that is asking you, from what I'm hearing with the cards, is to be easy on yourself. And what Mary was saying, maybe there's some forgiveness and some letting go there, but there's also being standing strong in how you do that. You don't have to give up your power or any of yourself when you're forgiving somebody or letting something go. Trust yourself, let yourself be loved. And you got a lot of magic inside that needs to come out too. And it will. And that's all I have to say to Baby Angel. I have more, but I'm not going to say.
I know, like more keeps coming in, like the
Keep coming in.
No, when there was something else, when you started talking about the mountain, another thing about the feather came forward, and how once we clear those old things, how we make amends. And then you talked also about standing your ground. So there might be frictions in the family or with friendships that are there that need to be cleared or backed away from. But the thing about a feather and the thing about a mountain is feather is spirit flight, and mountain is usually like the spirit of some sort of teacher or healer. We're talking about the apus here, that high energy, the place where the hearts, that's the heart, where the sky and the earth meet in the center. So there's something very beautiful about that. So I like what you said about how when that clears, that's what you're going to get. You're going to be that big energy. So yes, there's a lot there to read into. So
Mhm.
super appreciate you letting us read you, baby angel. We're a
Yes.
little over time, so we're not going to keep going, but I do think you have at least 5 to
Mhm.
7 guys that you work with, some of which are star seeds, avians,
Oh yeah.
um, an angel, of course. Anything else you want to say, Danny?
I tapped into star seeds right away, and I was surprised I didn't get a Skyfather type card because it came in so strong. But yeah, I agree.
I have one more question for you, Danny.
Uh-oh.
Can you tell us what the magician card really means and stands for?
No, really means really?
In general, maybe
So
you study it.
so for me, the magician card is all about, it could be a couple of things depending on the cards around it. But for me, if I just look at the magician card, it's creating something through an intention that appears to be magic. But it's you creating something from an intention.
Okay, everybody pay attention, okay? We had the intention that this whole show was around the fool's journey, your new beginning. Danny said at the beginning that the fool's journey is the whole thing, that the fool is the 0 card, and that everything after that is just part of the journey. The number 1 card, if the fool is 0, the number 1 is the magician, which means the first thing you do on any journey is set your spiritual intention. Set your
Yes.
magic. Set your magic. I love you so much, Danny Shay. Thank
I
you.
love you too, Mary. This has been a blast, and thank you everybody in the chat for joining. This has been so great.
Thank you so much. Thanks everybody for tuning in. Thanks Viviani for moderating. And if you guys want to talk to your pets, me and Viviani will be on Friday. Thank you so much, Danny. It's been an amazing time. We'll have to do it again soon.
Yes, we will. All right.
Bye,
Bye,
everybody.
everybody.